So diet for the generations, let's start with the kiddies, right? Children. Children have naturally weaker spleen and stomach energies, so weaker earth energy. So you might wonder why your child, if you have children, are just walking little kind of snot bags. It's because they create a lot more mucus. Their energy is weaker. They're building their immune system still, and their chi is lower. So they make more mucus. They get the colds easier. It's totally normal. So you may have noticed that children love sweets, right? Love sweets. And as soon as you give them sugar, that's almost all they want after that. Well, why is that? Sweet tonifies earth energy. Children are trying to, subconsciously nurture their earth energy and bring their chi up, which helps with their immune systems as well. So you can basically give kids some nice natural sweet foods, which they love in general anyways. So apples, rice porridge, millet, figs, raisins, maybe small amounts of meat if you guys do that, honey, carrots, yams, fennel tea, this kind of stuff. This sweet's going to nourish them. And they may not be asking for that really refined sugar. They shouldn't be forced to overeat. It's going to burden their little digestive systems. Their digestive systems are a bit weaker. That's probably why they're so picky, right? They're not like, Mom, can I have an olive? Not really, because that's such a strong food. They tend to want these nice, sweet, gentle things. So don't overburden their digestive systems by making them eat too much. And try to keep their meals as warm as possible, especially at this time of life when you're trying to make good chi, you're trying to make a good constitution for this child. Warm, naturally sweeter foods are the way to go. So just on the lower side, the cold and raw foods, greasy, fried, heavy meats, rich, spicy foods. Most kids don't like that anyways, so that's good. They are more like bland and sweet foods are good. I see a lot of parents really trying to get their children to eat as many greens as possible, their small children. Don't worry if they're not liking those. A lot of greens are bitter in flavor, and the child's looking for sweet. Like they're looking to tonify their chi. So don't fret too much if your 3 or 4-year-old isn't eating all of their greens. Their body might not be wanting it yet, that's all. They might be going more towards a sweet, and just allow them to do that. And as they get a bit older, 8 years old, 5 to 8 years old, you can start to incorporate more of that in. But they don't really need it as much at that really young age, according to TCM. In middle age, so between child and elderly, it's really this entire course. So everything we've talked about, kind of warmer foods, watch the extremes too much. If someone's having a lot of cravings, it might be that they're missing a flavor in their diet or that they're eating too much of that flavor. It's either way. That's really it. The rest of this course is actually middle age. But elderly, as we get older, our chi, yin, blood, yang, all that stuff naturally declines. Once your yin and yang are gone, they actually separate at the end. You're no more on this planet. So normal to have them go down. Elderly are more tired than someone who's younger, this kind of thing. So we want to also know that the digestive system is weaker because their energy is weaker. So I said a lot earlier that you'll see a lot of elderly, will eat tea and toast when they're in their 90s kind of thing. The digestive system is not so strong, and they're looking for really easy to digest things. So that's key, is that almost like children. I'm not saying they're like children, but the same kind of diet, that kind of blander foods, slightly sweet foods are really good for elderly because they're easy to digest and they're working with less energy. Congees, porridges, prunes for if they're getting constipated because the yin's usually lower, they're usually a bit drier. Eggs, fish, stews, soups, well-cooked meals. And in a sense, the older someone gets, the more you might want to kind of blend the food out a bit because any kind of extreme flavors are difficult for them to digest. Really be careful with, cold, greasy, fried foods. They're just harder to digest and they can weaken the system. And that's it. It's gentle what I just said there, more sweet and warm with children, more and bland, and more bland, kind of sweet and warm with elderly, and in between, then you're looking for the patterns, seasonal, everything in this course kind of thing. And these are small things, but they're actually quite powerful. So there we go. That's diet for the generation. And now we're going to move to spleen and stomach function. So here you're going to learn how to recognize digestive imbalance. Is the stomach too hot? Is it too weak? Is it not moving? You're going to start to recognize that. We're going to look at signs of digestive imbalance so that you can tell if maybe you have digestive imbalance and what the pattern is, which then lets you know what foods should I use.